Hi, this is Nick from Waves Factory. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create guitar tracks in Kontakt with extra realism. We're going to be using a new instrument, Strum Guitar. It features real strumming chords from 4 different guitars, both up and down strokes. We'll take a deep dive into the Strum Guitar sequencer and all of its possibilities. You'll find a link to the instrument in the description. The light blue keys are the chord recognizer section, and they won't produce any sound by itself. You need to trigger one of the 7 stored patterns using the red keys to make it play the recognized chord. This is how it sounds just playing the different presets. It sounds okay, and this can be used to make a quick and rough guitar accompaniment track for a demo, but it can be improved. Chord changes don't sound natural because no guitarist would ever play like this. We need to give it some polish. We'll explore 3 different techniques to make it sound more real. The first one is forcing one or multiple mutes on chord changes. You can force a mute by pressing any of the black keys. Let's hear it without the mutes. Now with the mutes. Big difference, right? The number of muted steps will depend on the pattern, the tempo of the song, and your personal preference, so don't hesitate to try a few things here. In this case, we'll use an open chord while the guitarist's hand changes the position. This simulates the fingers of the player changing their position in the fretboard, leaving the strings open. Let's hear the transition without any editing. And now I'm going to make the gap a bit wider and place the open chord note right here. Let's hear it again. As you can see, the open chord lasts from before the gap to after the end. This small trick blends the open chord right into the transition. Finally, you can merge both transitions by adding a force mute and then blend an open chord. That's how it would sound without transition. And now I'm going to add this force mute here, make the gap a bit wider, and add the open chord note. Notice again that we're placing the open chord right before the gap, and it lasts up until after the end. Now I'm going to show you some tricks to add realism and character to your guitar tracks. As you can hear, there's an abrupt end of a strumming pattern. If you want to make it more natural, just add a palm mute right after. This mimics the noise of the player stopping the strings. It's a subtle difference, but it's enough to add more realism. Check out the riser style in the patterns menu. They're really helpful for certain parts of the song. We created 3 different ideas, but feel free and create your custom ones to match the groove of the song. Let's hear them in action. Another common problem is if the pattern you're playing is very similar and repetitive. A cool trick is to create multiple variations of the same pattern with small changes, so each pattern is just a bit different. Finally, in case you need a single long chord for the end of a song, create a pattern that contains only the first note and empty the rest. It will sustain the chord until the pattern ends. Let's hear it. Or you can also just load this patch that contains the major and minor chords, upstroke and downstroke, and just use the one you're looking for. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more tutorials.